Good evening, everyone. Hi, Walter. You're the first one. Welcome, welcome. I'm just kind of waiting for my camera to catch up. We're going to do some watercoloring tonight with aqua pigs. Hope you're doing well tonight, Walter. All right. There's my TV moving. Okay, I can hear myself, so I'm going to mute myself. So, gonna give everyone a couple of minutes and still say some hellos. I know, hey again. Yeah, I love Wednesdays because there's two of us, and it helps, two of them, and it helps me remember that I have a live tonight, and that Wednesday's not here yet. It's just Wednesday. So, hi, Mama. Hope you had a great lunch today. So I'm gonna go ahead and start in, and if you're watching for replay, the one thing I want to mention, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the screen is the Snowflake Spectrum box. It is available right now with the class for $99.99 or the box for $64.99, but that will change on Sunday. The class will go away, and I believe the price of the box is going up. It is on the Brutus Monroe events page. Hi, Melissa. How are you? So I'll leave that up for a minute or two, or for a minute. So I'm excited for it. I'm gonna, hopefully they don't sell out before tomorrow. That's my goal, is to order mine tomorrow. So um, I'm gonna do my version of watercoloring tonight. Let me put my chat back on. Oh, good, Mama. So I pulled a bunch of stuff. If you can, oh, let me switch my screens. And I put my black mat out. So hopefully it'll catch up. Give it a minute, to refocus. All that good stuff. Hi, Miss Annie. Oh, Fletch just came flying through. Let's see if he comes out with one of my pillows. He's going to lay on the bed. He likes to lay in the bed when Mama talks. I pulled out a bunch of aqua pigments, and I got some Chroma Mist. These are all kind of the fall colors. Hi, Karen. Hi, Shirley. Some of the Wicked release, and these are all in stock. So I have everything linked in the description box below, and I have links if you have a specific color you want to see. I can put that there, but I can put the link in there, or if Penny ends up coming in, she can put that up too. But hi, Shirley. Hi, Kate. So I'm just going to kind of push those off to the side. The one thing I wanted to mention is I wanted to show. So I hadn't used some of these colors. You can see that little bit of white. So that is a little bit of maybe needing to make sure you shake. And I can see me in the little camera, but I'm not going to do it on camera because that gets people dizzy. I like to do that. And then the other thing I like to do with aqua pigments in particular is I always take my drum and I squeeze it out and squeeze it back up several times to make sure whatever's in the little eyedropper gets mixed in too. It's the same thing if you have, like, I did not put Yellow Brick Road down below because I thought I'd add it at the last minute for color wise, but it's got that shimmer. So you want to make sure those get all shaken up. So I'm going to go ahead and put those off to the side. I have my penny embossing powder. I already heat embossed everything, and I already fussy cut everything, so you don't have to watch any fussy cutting. So we're gonna put that away. And I used aqua pigment paper, and I'm gonna grab a piece of paper because I don't have a backer for this one. This is an older set, but it is available. It's called Homegrown Happiness. And this is the stamp set. Hi, Christy. All right, I'll see you when you get home. Drive safe. And it is an oldie but a goodie set. You can see I've used it before. Actually, one of my favorite coloring cards I've ever made, which I don't know if I still have or if I sent to the store, was using this and masking. That's why you can see all the masks. But we're going to use that tonight. And then I know that at one time there was a stencil for the flowers. I don't think it's available right now. I'm sure we can, if we really needed to, but I did want to point out that there is a die for the mason jar. So that alone sold me on this stamp set. And I will tell you, the first time I did it, I moved my paper, so I cut out my mason jar wrong, but that's fine. We might use that one tonight. But I already heat embossed all of these on aqua pigment paper with penny. So we're gonna go ahead and stick them all onto my stick and stamp mat. This is kind of one I've used for a while, so it's not, I've had this one a long time, so it might not be quite super sticky, but at least we'll keep it in one spot. And I'm gonna not do the leaves right away. I'm just to stick all these flowers on. So, um, just thought we're gonna make a little bit of a fall card tonight using this. I was kind of looking to see what hadn't we used for a while, what was still in stock, something different. I wanted to use like the new aqua pigments in an older stamp set. So, okay. So I've got my little pigment palette here. I'm gonna flip it upside down, not because I don't want to use this side. I like having a wide open side when I watercolor. And I've got my water in a little flower jar here. And that's off to the side, and we're gonna just go for it. So, um, let's see here. We've got some weird colors here. These are fall colors. And I mean that weird as in it's might be a little bit darker, not super bright and cheerful card. And I mean that as in it's fall. So there's more, not muted, but deeper colors like mums and things like that. So that is chestnut, and this is No Place Like Home. So I'm going to go ahead and shake that off here a little bit. I'll squirt that up. No Place Like Home is a really pretty red, and chestnut is a really dark red. Now I'm going to tell you, I have watercolored with I have swatched these out, but I have not watercolored with these before. So this is going to be all kind of fun and playtime. So I think what I'm going to do is actually pull off these flowers because these are the same. And we're going to do these all in these red colors here. These are all the same. And look at that pretty shiny penny. You can see it over here in the corner where it's a little more shiny. I moved my light that I used to have behind me over here. So I had a little bit more light so it wouldn't be quite so dark because I think my camera blocks. So like I said, my Stick and Step mat is an older one. Couldn't find I've had this one since the beginning. So it's gone through a lot. So it's perfect for this because it kind of holds it in place, but yet it's not so sticky that my little pieces are hard to get off like you can with a new one. So it is a very strong red, but we're going to mute it down a little bit because we're going to just use some water. And like I said, do my version of watercoloring. I'm going to put my cheaters on here, so forgive me if I don't look up as often. So, I'll pull this up for you. It's a really strong red, but in reality, it's really not. And I'm going to make this all one color here. We're just going to I just put water down and I'm going to let it bleed out. And I am going to go ahead and do my middle. So let's pull this up here a little bit and let you see it. So the camera is going to show it just a little bit more muted. Okay, now I know there's a lot of white, so it takes a minute for it to focus. So, there's a big difference between that. It's still bright, but it's not like blood red, I guess, as much as it looks like when it's on the... So now I'm just going to take a little water and I'm just going to rub it off on the side of my cup, and I'm just going to add a little bit more water up here and let it continue to kind of bleed up into my flower. And I can't believe, you guys, it's November and it's Wednesday. Geez. It's the first Wednesday of November already. And Thanksgiving isn't that far away. If you think about it, it's crazy. So I'm just going to kind of pull a little bit of that color out. I'm not going to add any more of that bright red. We're just going to pull it out with some of the water. Like I said, I'm not an expert. This is just kind of what I like to do. And then I am going to grab a little bit of that red, and we're going to do it. Go ahead and put it in. Oops, it's going to bleed a little bit, but I'm going to put it in on the edge of that flower and a little bit here. So, hi, Ellen. And while it's still wet, I'm just going to rinse off my brush. I'm going to grab a little bit of this chestnut. Well, like I said, I've never played with these before, so it's just kind of a playing thing. And we're just going to dab a little bit in there and see what happens here. So the chestnut is a little bit more of a brown, but it's going to just darken up those little bits in there in the middle where there's some shadow. I'm going to put a little bit right under here, a little bit under here because there's petals. And then I'm just going to kind of let it sit. And we're going to move on to another color. So here, I'll pull this out a little bit so you can kind of see it. See, it's a little bit more of a brown color. And I was thinking red in my head, but it's not. Duh, chestnuts. But I can always pull a little bit of that red out and add a little bit chestnut to make a deeper red, which, we can do that. And here's a dry on dry where we're just going to put some in there. It's not my favorite. Dry on dry isn't my favorite because I am heavy handed. So I tend to go too far and then you don't have any shading. So, hi, Amalia. How are you? So that is kind of how I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out with some water, and then we're going to go back to kind of more of our wet on wet type of technique. So we're going to have mostly red in this. I really hadn't thought out my background a ton. I pulled a couple of card stocks. I know one is out of stock. So I'm leaning towards lunch bag because I know lunch bag is in stock, or it was this afternoon during the live. But I haven't 100% decided what we're going to do. My big focal point was to kind of just paint these flowers. So I hope this is okay with you guys tonight. I mean, we're doing some kind of fast watercoloring. So it was crazy around Iowa because we had that hot weather. I know that, if you watched during Halloween and Jess was talking about how hot it was. We had that right before Halloween, like the day before. The day my last live, and then it dropped. Like it was really nice in the morning. I took the dog for a walk Thursday the 1st on the morning. And by the time I left for lunch, I was like needing my winter coat and a hat. And my mom got snow on like I said, I think I told you guys that last week on Halloween. Oh no, on Halloween, by the time I left work, it was quite cold. They had snow. Um, But it's been fairly pleasant. I did wear a hat and mittens this morning when I walked the dog, but that's because it's super early. Um, but I didn't need a coat to wear to work. But I will tell you that we are finally out of a drought stages here in Iowa. That is, I mean, we were in burn bans. Well, I don't know if drought status, but I should say we are out of our burn ban, which is fabulous because it was very dry, very, very dry. So I'm just gonna kind of add a little bit more water in where I added some spots to kind of make it not quite so harsh of a line. And then we're just the one thing I like about having the stick and step mat is I can just go ahead and turn. So I'm gonna pull these up a little bit closer. You can kind of see them. You can see where I added that chestnut in a little bit. It just deepened that little bit. I want it to dry just a little bit because I have a lot of water in there right now. And then we can go back and add a little bit more. So we're gonna go ahead and go back. This is the same flower I had before. I'm just gonna throw a bunch of water on. So who is excited for, I know it's coming, and I'm not saying the holidays as in, Christmas, even though, for me, it's okay to start watching Christmas. And just because I think you should have Christmas. If anyone remembers Christmas Eve on Sesame Street, keep Christmas with you all through the year. That is the song that I love so much. But I'm excited for Thanksgiving and foods and eating. I'm excited. You know what? Tonight is the oh yeah, from going through the upper states. Yeah, I know it was quite cold. It was kind of crazy how cold it was. Like I said, I like cold because I can put on different clothing, like more clothing. When it's hot, it's hard to cool off sometimes, but when you're cold, at least you can kind of wrap up and kind of drink something hot. I mean, you're cold, but you can get warm by running some warm water, drinking something hot, and you start to feel that warmth. And eventually it kind of, I mean, you could still be cold, but I think sometimes when it's hot there's only a couple ways to really cool down, and that's usually taking a cold shower or something. So um, but I am excited for the holidays just in general. I'm excited to I mean, football's back. You guys know I'm a football fan. I love having my Saturday and Sunday football games. It's so fun. Last week was crazy because I ended up not watching any football till the evening because my Vikings didn't play till the night, and I crafted and I made 4 cards. 4 cards on Sunday, if you can believe that. That's crazy. I never make 4 cards. Not usually. Well, I mean, I know I did last week, but or the week before, but that was because I pre-planned some stuff out. Hi, Susan. All right. Now this is just like a little bit of a bud. So I'm gonna add a bunch of water, and I heavily coated this. Like you can see it's puddling up on my on my paper here. So I'm just gonna grab some from this one and throw it on here. And I like to heat emboss. It's just cooled down to 78. Oh, it's not like that here. I mean, 78 is about as high as I ever want to be temperature wise. So, I mean, you can kind of see my little, I have a turtleneck on today and jeans, if you can believe that. I don't wear jeans very often, but we have an awesome consignment store in my little town. And I dropped things off and I've bought things. The dress I wore last week, I wore, that I bought there. And I tried on some jeans on Saturday because I went in for I mean, they keep putting something in the window and then I have to go in. You know, I see it on the weekend, I drive by, and then I'm like, I gotta go in and try that out because they have a lot of stuff that ends up being in my size. Oh yeah, no, Ellen, I don't want humid heat. You can have it. I will take my snow any day. Um, and so I went in on Saturday because I had bought this sweater, like not cardigan. It's like it's kind of hard to describe kind of jacket, but I bought it. And she's like, "Do you want the shirt that goes underneath it?" Because it had a bunch of fun colors and it had this beautiful teal color in it, or tealy turquoise color. And I was like, it's actually like remember me kind of color, I think. Anyway, I said no, because I don't know if it fits on. So I remembered the last minute to go in and try it on Saturday. And then before I know it, I was trying on jeans and I was trying on other tops and um, I was just trying on clothes. So I ended up buying 3 or 4 pairs of jeans, which was good because I don't really have any jeans that are. I have one pair that kind of fit and are comfortable. And then I came home and I was very good of myself. I went to my closet and I haven't brought them in yet. I need to do that. But I pulled and emptied more hangers than what I bought. So when I bring clothes into them, I have more to go than what I bought. So I was very proud of myself for that. Because if some of you don't know, I broke my closet a few months ago in my old house. I had so many clothes. And so I felt bad. And so I ended up taking a bunch of clothes off the hangers, mostly because I had a lot of hangers on one rod, 2 rods on one hanging thing, and it's an old plastered house, so it was not a good thing. So, okay. So look at how, I mean, I did very muted kind of colors. These are kind of like magnolias, I would say. Probably need to put a little bit in the center of this one just because. Yes, exactly. And every time they just keep putting something in the window. And I bought the jean skirt off the, it was funny. I took the jean skirt off one mannequin and then I took the top off the other. So I had 2 half naked mannequins, if you can believe that. And it was just kind of funny. And then when I went in the next day, they had a different jean skirt on the mannequin that I had bought. And I was like, oh, I like that jean skirt too. It's completely different though. But I didn't buy it. I was a good girl. Because the original jean skirt I bought was like the stonewash jean, so it's all brown, or I mean all no brown, sorry, all completely faded and that white color and stuff like that. So yeah, so I didn't buy the other one that was blue. I was a good girl. I thought I should just buy the one. But I've been liking skirts and dresses because I can put on tights, especially in longer ones or I can wear boots and then so I stay kind of cooler. But I did share and I can do that again. I'm going to go ahead and go in and find that. I'm going to put that in one more time. If for those of you who are just joining us, don't forget that the holiday kit is the Snowflake Spectrum box. That's the holiday box. It is on the Bruce Monroe event page, so you have to go to Bruce Monroe events to get it, or you can scan the QR code. Right now, the box alone is $64.99. And if you also, or you can sign up with the class for $99.99 with class with Christopher. The class is going away on Sunday, so you have till Sunday to get it. And the box is going up in price after Sunday as well. So I did want to put that, I'm going to leave that on the screen for just a little bit. And then, like I said, I have everything linked below in the description box. So I guess one other thing is I said it's a new month, right? So there is a new CYOE challenge. And we are going to use part of the CYOE challenge for me tonight. And that is, I'm going to go back to the chat here, so make sure. Hi, Penny. The CYOE challenge this month is favorites. I didn't want to do thank you or any of that stuff. I want to do a project. This can be for anyone, because it doesn't matter what you have. As long as you have a Bruce Monroe product, you have to have a favorite of something that you have or you've rebought, whether it's an embossing powder or a chroma mist or a stamp set. If it's hard to see what it is, like if it's, say it's pearl aqua pigment, it'd be nice if you put in your post along with the CYOE challenge, but use a favorite item of Brutus Monroe. You can have 2 projects. You have till the 29th, I believe, to share them in the Brutus Monroe fan club group. We are going to throw in a little bit of one of my favorites, and that is the ornamental gold chroma mist tonight. So I'm going to quickly finish these up. And then it looks like this one I got to add on just a little bit. I'm going to kind of bring this up to the screen. This dried off a little bit. This one dried off a little bit. And you can kind of see it. See if I can get up a little closer. You can see there's a little bit of a harsh line like in here. So I'm just going to go ahead with some water, and I'm just going to kind of feather that out a little bit and let them kind of, get rid of that harsh line anywhere I see those harsh lines, because it might have, the brown or the chestnut might have dried a little bit too soon. And then we're going to just leave those. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and get that. Oh, thank you. I cut the code back off the screen here. Thanks, Penny. So I did share this one earlier. This is the Homegrown Happiness, Penny. There is a die as well for the jar. I'm just gonna put these up above for now. I am going to leave my aqua pigments on this. Oh, you know what, Ellen? That's pattern paper is, I love the paper pads. I didn't order 2 of the love letters paper pad today. I'm like, I really could have ordered 5, and I would love it in a 12 by 12. Oh, it's just so pretty. But I am trying this month to use my really, really big favorites, which is, my ornamental gold, my fallen snow, glitter glaze, and my pearl aqua pigments. Those are my ultimate favorites. But I'm leaning towards loving more and more of like just embossing powders. I have almost all of the embossing powders, and I just am really loving them right now, like all the different ones. I know we made those tone on tone cards last week, and I made a bunch over the weekend. I shared one today. All right, we are going to add a little bit of, we're going to use the yellow brick road on these Cosmo-y colored ones. Yeah, Walter, I'm like, I really wanted to order more than 2, but I thought I probably should only order the 2. I couldn't. I was like, not fair for me to order them all, because I really don't need more than one, more than 2, but I really would. I'm like, I want that to be an evergreen product, so buy that out a lot. That is such a beautiful paper pad. Obviously, if you guys were in the live, you saw my order go out for it, so. And I'm excited. Who's doing the Merry Making event this weekend? That is going to be fun. My Hawkeyes play on Friday night, so I don't have to compete with them on Saturday at all. So I can just set up, and now that I've got my computer screen, my desk set up a little bit. Oh, sorry, I was listening. Tom was talking downstairs, and I wasn't sure if somebody was here or if he's on the phone. And I wanted to make sure nobody, because sometimes Fletch gets really wild if there's somebody here. And I knew he'd start barking, but I think he's on the phone. Too humid for embossing powder. Because it doesn't stick? I mean, it sticks to everything. Is that what you have to run out for a hayride birthday party for the grandson Saturday? But oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. I have to hope the weather's decent. Like I said, I'm excited. I am in the holiday mood. I haven't made any Christmas cards yet. So I'm excited to get my box. I should have my box in time. Right now it's slated for Saturday, which is fine, but it might come a little bit later. Okay, I've got hawthorn here, and I've got the pumpkin stem, the gourd guts. I think maybe did I do gourd? I guess I grabbed gourd guts. I don't know if I screened them, but this is the chroma mist, and the same thing, shake it up. I'm going to put a little bit of this down. And I'm just going to spray a little bit on my mat. I don't need a ton, and we're going to, okay. Yep, Walter's in merrymaking. That's going to be fun. Hey, is your box, did you get your box yet, Walter? I mean, are you a team rip it open kind of person? I mean, I am. If mine comes on Friday during the day, I will just tell you that I'm going to hope everyone goes away for a while at work, and I'm going to rip it open after lunch. I will probably try and wait till after lunch if it comes on Friday. It might come Saturday, but that's fine. I'll have it in the morning, and my post office can be dumb and be behind, but a lot of times it gets here early. You know, Melissa, I have actually been toying with it myself, just in general. Um, I've always wanted to. I just have never taken the time. And now that I have more time and I have this nice big craft room where I can set stuff out, I've been thinking about doing that as well. I've had a lot of ideas that I want to do. I'd really like to start a basics channel, like um, a basics, like watercoloring. I mean, I'm not, like I said, but like heat embossing 101, stamping 101, things like that. Just for fun. It kind of reminds me of the basics, not getting too crazy. Um, but I haven't had the time to really sit down, or I haven't taken the time to do it. I mean, obviously, lots have been going on. So, all right, I'm going to leave those two yellows. You know what, Kate? It'll be fine. You can watch along. You can chat with me in the group if mine doesn't get here quite in time. Like I said, because my post office sometimes is dumb. I don't mean it that way, but um, and then I a lot of times I don't craft along. I watch because I think it's more fun to craft later. Um, and then I can kind of see what's going on. Watch or if I get distracted for some reason, like the phone rings or that type of thing. Yeah, Annie, that is my goal. I asked some people a long time ago, and I put a poll up on my channel on my Candy V sugar cards. Can't remember if it's Candy V sugar cards or sugar cards Candy V, but that's the one they wanted me to do, and that was my goal to just do. And like I said, I think with winter coming, that will be something I'm going to do more of, just because um, when I'm on the weekends, I just want to be able to play a little bit and all that good stuff. So these are kind of like marigolds. I'm going to try to kind of make them like mums. What I did is I mixed the No Place Like Home, a little bit of the Yellow Brick Road, and a little bit of that Gourd Guts, and we're just going to kind of mix them. So like I said, thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I mean, I know this watercoloring is not always something, I mean, Halloween happened since I was here last. Did you guys have lots of trick-or-treaters? Oh yeah, Ellen, that is awesome, Melissa. You know what, Melissa? I'm going to share a little spoiler. Not a Brutus Monroe spoiler. This is my spoiler. I have something fabulous to plan for next year using subscription products. It's going to be a monthly series. I don't know if it'll be live during lives once a month, or if it'll be something I just create on my own and video up. I saw a video of somebody doing something monthly, and I'm gonna put my own spin on it and add a little bit of Brutus Monroe to it. So I'm excited for it. Um, I'm I have an idea, and that's all I'm gonna say because I've got to, implement that idea, of course, too. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a live video. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a recorded video. Oh, Penny, I still have a Christmas event from last year that I'm not 100% done with, a virtual event. I still haven't made any of my CYOE cards. Let's see. I did an event earlier this month for Christmas, and I haven't had a chance to. I couldn't. Did I watch any of it? I don't even remember if I started it. So I have a few that I am way behind on, but it's fine. And actually, I have two or three Cop and Create ones I have to do as well. Okay, so now I've kind of got the basics of this orange. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it about a little bit of this yellow brick road. I'm going to try to move this along a little bit. I promise you the leaves won't take that long. And I'm going to add a little bit of just the yellow, and I'm going to kind of just tie that in to the outsides and just kind of let it blend together. So bow hunting season started here, but the weather hasn't been appropriate. I mean, it rained and rained and rained yesterday. Like it rained all day. It was crazy. And there were some times when it wasn't. Oh, so I had an exciting thing kind of happen in front of me. I've never seen this before in my life, you guys. Yeah, you know what, Melissa? I'm the same way. I mean, I know I do the lives on Wednesdays, but I kind of want to do a little bit of, like I said, on my not on my own, but I mean like live videos, just not necessarily during a live, but like videoing what I'm doing live and then uploading it. So pre-recorded. All right, I've got the mason jar. I did get this one cut out with the lid. Now I hope you notice I don't have any stems. I'm not going to worry about that too much yet. I have a plan for it, and if it don't work, we're just going to fill it in and you're not going to be able to see it. What I decided is I didn't necessarily care I didn't care for this to be, it looks like a mason jar, but I'm going to have a colored mason jar. So I'm quickly going to put these leaves. I don't know if we need all these leaves. We're going to kind of just slap some color on them. Oh, yeah, I am kind of starting to kind of slow down on some events. I didn't do Crop and Create this last year and the year before because I just, with time, um, and there was another one that I did for a couple years. I didn't do that one this summer. Um, it was a camp. So I love them. I've just not having the time. So I'm just kind of, I miss out on some of the special, things that are only released during their events. But I figure if it doesn't get released, I, I won't even know about it, to be honest with you. So, we're going to use the I'm Melting from the Wicked. Oh, Christy, absolutely. I'm all for you. This is a deep, deep green. So we're also going to use, and here's that another one where I show you just sitting here a little bit, it gets a little white. This is the pumpkin stem. I'm going to shake that up just a little bit. See, I mean, just that little bit. And this is a little bit muted green. So we're going to mix those two greens quick and just paint these flowers on real quick. I am going to kind of just paint them all over, just because I'm doing real fast. I'm not going to worry about the blending as much because like these are just accent pieces. And then we'll add a little bit of that darker green. I'm going to paint them all with this. Make sure, I know that one's kind of a little off screen. Christy, I just think that's so hilarious. That is so funny. We don't need them all. I mean, it's great too, but we got to use what we have too and support. I mean, I love supporting crafting companies. Don't get me wrong, but I got to support the stuff I'm using I mean, I love them all, and ways I can support are to watch videos and give them thumbs up and subscribe to their content creators and feedback and things like that. I mean, those are small things that I can do that can help too, because that helps engage and keep it valent for everybody else. And there's a lot of us out there, so that way we can all kind of help each other out. So it's a little messy. I'm okay with that. Oh, fun, Walter. That was that's fun. So now here's the I'm melting. This is a little bit deeper green. We're just going to go in at the base of some of these. This one I might put a little bit more down right through the middle because it's a different kind of leaf, just to differentiate between the others. And then these other ones, I'm just going to kind of go at the bottom and just let it kind of go up a little bit. Like I said, this was a kind of a fast, these are just accent pieces. I don't even know if we're going to use them all. I probably could have been painting some of these last night, but so that they were completely dry. But okay, last but not least, I'm going to grab my little towel here, and I don't like to, oh, I guess I don't need to do that. Last but not least, we're going to use, and I might say this wrong because I've read the Wicked book, but I haven't seen, obviously I haven't seen the movie yet, but I haven't seen the, if so, Shiz University. I don't know if that's how you say it. That's what it looks like to me. And it's this really pretty blue. And this is the color of our jar it's going to be. So I'm going to very, very quickly add a bunch of water to this. And then we're going to start kind of getting our background together. We got to get our sentiment together. And it won't take long for these to really dry. Okay. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to really kind of concentrate it down here at the bottom and on the sides. Yeah, it was. I will be honest with you. It took me a long time to get into it and read it, at least at the beginning. I mean, I was quite busy at the time. You know, I don't know if I was quite a stay-at-home mom or if my kids were just getting into sports and stuff. So I was very, very busy. So it took me a while to get into it, but I really did enjoy it when I finally read the book. And then I couldn't put it down. Not gonna worry about the lid too much. Shiz or chiz. Okay, thank you. I said, I knew you would know. I knew my sister would know. So I'm just going to kind of just add a little bit of extra water, kind of let it do its own thing, but I don't necessarily want it to be see-through. So I'm kind of going to let it flow, and then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to drop in some more. And the reason I say that is because I don't want to necessarily do all the stems. I didn't want to fussy cut stems tonight. I didn't have a lot extra time to do that. So I'm kind of adding this in so it's kind of a little darker on the sides. And we're going to do that by adding just a little bit more, maybe of that little, I'm going to do a little bit of that I'm melting right on the edge, just to kind of darken it a little bit. And then we can add a little bit more of the blue and the green, just to kind of darken those edges up in the bottom a little bit. So it's my card, so we can do what we want, right? I thought it was really fun to do this, the blue on it. So I'm going to let this set to the side for a few minutes and just kind of let this one dry. Our flowers are drying quite quickly. This one's a little bit wet. We might have to hit it with a heat tool, but I'm going to set this off to the side for just a few seconds. Put it up here behind me. And I don't normally, you guys know I don't normally do this, but I am going to go ahead and kind of, because I don't want to create a, with my luck, I'll hit it and make a mess and ruin my project. I'm going to wipe that up. That's why I tend to end up using my mat. And I do need to move my glass mat over here because then I can ink smush it. All right, so we've got our flowers. I'm thinking I'm going to lean towards the lunch bag because I want this kind of a shiz. All right, research done. Thank you. So I'm going to cut this down. It's 5.25 by 4.25. I'm going to cut it down to 4 by 5 because I'm actually going to put it on a lunch bread card base, which I do not have done tonight. So I may put that on after, but you will get the idea because it's going to look like this. Sorry. All right. So let's put this off to the side. I don't need this anymore. This is my smaller one. What I thought I'd do is I do believe this is out of stock. I just grabbed a really recent one. This is the autumn wallpaper. I'm going to grab my spray container. So I apologize if it gets a little fuzzy because, you know, cameras don't always like the white. We're going to put that on. And of course, you know me, I have not. You have to text that to me, Penny, because I'll probably forget. My favorite. This is my CYOE challenge part. My favorite, ornamental gold. So I'm just shaking it up a little bit because there's a lot of gold mix on the bottom. We're just going to add a little bit of interest to this card base by adding a little bit of that color. And then I don't know if I have any water still left in my stencil. I'm gonna let it pull up. I don't care if it's gonna be just a little bit. It's gonna move a little bit, but it's gonna be somewhat there too. And I'm just gonna leave this in here. And actually, to be honest with you, I'm gonna throw a little bit of my stencil cleaner right in the button here because I'm not gonna do any more spraying. And I'm gonna do a little bit of my watercolor water in there and just set that off to the side somewhere so I don't spill it. I'll just set it right there. And that'll let that kind of sit in it because my stencil tray, I covered it up tonight. So I'm not moving everything for you guys right now. All right. Oh, that is the bother. Okay. So I read Wicked, but I started Son of a Witch. I couldn't get through it, so I stopped. It was years ago. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Yes, I'm going to use my fingers. Don't tell Francie. And we're just going to heat set it real quick. Just to get that sparkle. It's not going to take too long to dry because we did a very light spray. Yep. Okay. Yep. Nope, I have not. Okay. Sorry. I didn't know that's who wrote them, but I did read The Wicked. I read Wicked. I think it wasn't even a musical yet when I read it. All right. And I'm going to grab a couple of these flowers and just kind of hit them because they're just a little bit damp. Hey, puppy. All right. And then I'm going to let the other ones that I did dry still for a little bit. All right. So here, look at this. Let's see if you can see it. Look at that. I love having my light over here. Okay. I could probably do the audio book. But so here's my thoughts. We're going to put a bunch of these flowers together. And like I said, I don't know if we're going to use them all. I kind of thought this would be fun to just kind of play them, but we need our base first. I don't know if it's quite dry, so we're going to quickly hit that. That's awesome. I think part of it is, Walter, in my opinion, is you've got a great voice for it. So it's a very nice, calming, soothing voice. And so listening to you when you teach, it's very calming and relaxing in a good way. And I don't think I would ever feel rushed. So, like I said, what I was thinking originally, Penny, I will tell you that I love twisted fairy tale type stories. Those are or like fairy tale retelling. I read some, I can't remember what they're called. And they were modern day versions of Alice in Wonderland and about her being crazy, and that they weren't, oh, it was crazy. Ensnared, I think is what one of them called. There was like 5 of them or something. So, oh, you're welcome, Walter. I do. I mean, listening to you speak, it's very, very, like, I love calming. I have a loud voice. I know that. I love calming voices. And so I like to listen to them when I craft or when I'm going to do things. So here's my thoughts. I'm just going to add a couple of these flowers. And I thought you could stamp the stems out, but I think instead we're just going to really fill this vase up with a couple of these flowers and just pretend that there is some stems. Yes, Melissa, I 1000%. I 1000%. So we're just gonna kind of put some in here, and we're just gonna see what, I mean, I just like that little bit. I feel like I need, I don't know if I want both of these. I didn't do the centers for those, so we'll put those away. I think what we're gonna do is we'll put this guy, we'll put this guy here. We've got this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's enough right there. Yeah, I think that's what. So we're just gonna kind of do this kind of a thing. Now, some options. You could grab the vintage doily die and put that behind it. You could use like the fiber paper for some stuff, for some the fiber paper, cut that out, tear it up. I do have something I could add that might make this fun. I cannot promise it's in stock. Let me see if I can find it. It was just on my desk. So, oh, and of course we've got our leaves too, which we may or may not use. I have some of these felt doilies. So I don't know if they're in stock. It's if it is, it's BRU 0460. Felt doilies, cranberry. Yeah, not. I get that. That's what you call me, Professor. Not dreaming. Yes, if some, there are people. I will tell you a funny story. So before, I never really did audiobooks. My daughter was the first one who ever introduced me to Overdrive, um, which is now I think called Bridges or Neighbors or something like that from and it that she had it free through her school. It wasn't really in the libraries, I think, quite yet. And at the time, you could do MP3s, or she could download and do I could burn them to a DVD or like a CD. And so I'd get a CD, a read write or whatever you would call them that you could redo on them. And I was listening to one. I mean, she was in middle school, so I don't know if she was in 5th grade, 6th grade, probably like 6th grade. And we downloaded this book on tape for her. I had it on DVD, and we were driving as a family down to Dubuque, which, is about a half an hour away from me. I'm going to throw a little bit of foam tape underneath this because it's got some lap. And it's got a little bit of a lip to it. And anyway, we're about 20 minutes into the drive. This is the back roads on the Mississippi River Valley. So up and down and in and out, things like that. And I almost crashed because the guy's voice was so calming and so soothing that he put me to sleep. It was crazy. So I'd like, sorry, no more. I think Haley's dad almost fell asleep. Haley fell asleep. I think everyone fell asleep in the car. And I was like, whoa. I mean, I jerked awake and I'm like, nope, that's it. We're done. So I'm going to use some foam tape to stick these down on here because I got a little bit of that. This is that felt. And I don't know if my glue is going to necessarily work as well for it. So, oh, Ellen, you are totally welcome. I love to read, and I do my Stuff My Kindle, which is free books that you can get. And I think it's freebooksy.com. And you get a newsletter, and every day I get a newsletter with some books that might be free. And I only do 1 through 3. If you send me book 12 and I haven't, I won't download it. And I only do that because to me, that's how I find new authors, but I want to be able to read or listen to them before I buy them. And it's only because I don't have a lot of room. It's not because I want to be cheap. I like buying books. That's what I like to do. So I haven't watched that show. Oh, I know, Melissa, it was. So it really makes me, so I listen to books on tape a lot when I drive, like when I go to crafty retreats or if I go up to see my family. Um, And so I will, to be honest with you, I spent the 2, 3 days before I go, about 2 days before I go, I literally go into my library app and I'll download 5 books. And the reason being is that I'll start playing them, and within an hour, within so many minutes, if I can't listen to them because their voice or whatever, because I'm afraid I'll like crash, then I can go on to the next one. I've heard some very, very good books, especially if I'm going to be by myself. So, Christy, I haven't done that series yet. I've been bad because I've been wanting to listen to books while I've been crafting because I'm like, that's like a no-brainer, right? However, now with my new craft room and I have a TV in here, I mean, I used to have a TV that was like just, I think I told you guys it was like in a front porch, old front porch that had, it was like a living room that would have a TV window to the living room. Now that I have this TV in my bedroom, my craft room, I find myself watching NCIS nonstop on the weekends, which is fine because I listen and kind of pay attention, but I've seen them all, so it's not like I'm gonna be upset if I miss a little bit, but I'm not. I should need to start listening. I want to start listening to books while I craft. That is my goal. I did do all of the Harry Potters, but number 7 last year, or the year before, I can't remember. I can't remember why I didn't get to book 7. I think because I had them for free on my library app, and then I had book 7 in for my free Audible trial, and then I forgot to listen to it. So, all right, we are getting to the close to the end of the time here. We're going to end on time tonight. So here's the beginning part of our card. I have not put any leaves in yet. They're not quite dry. So we're going to try to stick a few leaves in. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the bottom and hopefully they stay put. So we're going to add these one leaves just around the outside because these are all these leaves. They're all off screen. I'm sorry. I'm just going to leave them off screen because some of them are wet yet. Around these flowers because they're about the same. And then these couple of, thank you. Because I have not, I've had this set and I've used it maybe twice. I have never used the die. There is like I said, a die for this jar. I never used the die for the jar before tonight. I had to cut it apart. I've had the jar for a long time. The die, but I just never used it. I think because when I originally bought the set, I didn't know there was a die for it. And so I didn't buy the die when I missed it for some reason. So Tuscan colors, yeah, that would be exactly, yes. So like I said, I may have to do a little bit extra gluing because everything isn't dry, but we're just going to throw in a few extra leaves here and there. And then we got to put on a sentiment, and I want to do a little bit more extra penny because we all love penny. And I am some sad news, you guys. Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Kate. It's like I said, very easy watercoloring. I mean, remember how we were talking about how bright that red was? And see, that one didn't stick quite as well. That leaf didn't stick in there. And it's a lot more muted, especially because it dries back. Okay, we're gonna trim this off a little bit. So I'm trying to embrace my watercoloring. I don't know if my big sister showed up tonight. She was gonna come. She was excited for me to watercolor. She might watch the replay. She might even be watching. She didn't and not commented. But if you are, Tia, hi. All right, we're gonna kind of tuck that in. A lot of greenery there. I think we're done. That's enough greenery. All right, we need to do a little splatter. And I'm gonna just go ahead and do it right here because I used my splatter box to wash my stencil tonight. So we're just gonna use this penny shimmer splash, and I'm just gonna, because I want to add a little bit more of that penny color. And we're gonna do one more thing yet. And then I'm gonna get a sentiment on this puppy and we're gonna call it a night. So I am gonna do one more thing. Yes, we are. I splattered her. Need a leaf in the middle. Okay, well, let's see. You mean like in here? Like here? Behind here? Should we do it there? We'll do it there. That's where it's going. I'll take your suggestion. We'll throw it right in here. Whoop. Right there. All right. It's kind of a big one. Maybe I'll cut it down a little bit. We're not going to see the whole thing because I don't know if I want to cover all of the flower. I'm going to cover that up just a little bit. Just a hint of a leaf. There we go. That looks better. Okay. We're going to add some more of the ornamental gold. So I'm just going to boop, boop over the top. One more. So my desk, this is just a mess of shambles. I mean, it's all in my scissors, but it all comes off. We're going to let that dry for a minute. I'm going to bring it up a little closer. Focuses. I don't know if you're going to see all the shimmer tonight. It's kind of hard to see. Of course, it's not going to focus now because of the shimmer, I'm sure. Christy, all I did for the background, I can show you quick what I did for the background again. So I'm going to layer it eventually on a piece of this, but for Christy, I'm going to show her what I did for the background, Christy. Give me 1 second. So we might go over by 5 minutes because I haven't done a sentiment yet, but the sentiment won't take long. It's really easy. I don't have my splatter box. I actually have my big box. We'll just use my big box. All I did was take this stencil, Christy. All right, let's see if it can focus because it's being dumb. All right, come on. I'm trying to get it to focus a little bit. That's a little better. All I did was I took a piece of paper and I took some ornamental gold and I just went like, oops. So this isn't, it's a little bigger sheet. So and I just went, that's all I did, Christy. I sprayed it. And then I just lifted it off. This is the ornamental gold. And then voila, that's what it looks like. Okay, I'll put that aside. I'll use that for another card. So yeah, I have a huge mess here, which we're gonna quickly clean up because I don't want to get it on my Misty. I'm just gonna spray some water and then grab my cloth. Oh, Fletch ran off with my cloth the other day. I was so upset with him. I don't know where he even found it. All of a sudden he comes running upstairs on Sunday or Saturday, and it was in his mouth. And I was like, where did you get that from, you little stinker? And he was like, you can't have it. I was like, yes, I can. You're welcome. Okay, so we are almost done here. Get that out of the way. We're gonna grab our little mini Misty here. And I have one little piece of aqua pigment paper here that I saved back. And we are just gonna stamp a sentiment from the stamp set. Let's see, like I said, this is called Homegrown Happiness. I don't even have this on a magnet yet. Let's put that up here. And I think we're just gonna do, I'm gonna do this big, long, thank you for being so kind. And I am gonna do it in penny because I didn't do any black. So we're gonna heat emboss it very quickly. Static powder. We're almost on time tonight. I suppose let's get my perfect press out. Step that down with my finger, but I tend to do a lot of finger with the. And then where did I put my, oh, here is my piece of scratch paper. And the magic of heat embossing. I know he loves paper. You know, the funny thing is he tends to not, he doesn't do it a ton. I mean, he does it a little bit, but the most time is when he does that is usually when one of us comes home from work. On the weekends when his daddy gets home and during the week when I come home, then there's always, or if somebody comes over and they'll take their shoes off. I'm like, don't take your shoes off. And then they get them off. And then I'm like, no, we got to put them somewhere so the dog doesn't eat them because they will run off with them. And every single time somebody doesn't listen to me and they take their shoes off. And then the next thing I'm chasing Fletch around the house to get them from him. Silly puppy. All right, let's quickly heat emboss this. The magic of heat embossing. Look at that beautiful Penny. Penny, you're so beautiful. got that. I'm gonna grab my cutter, stick that down. We're gonna have to get, you know what we need? We need penny flat back pearls. I'm just gonna kind of measure it up with the line of the, hopefully it's straight. It's straight from old friend of mine who passed away a few years ago. He used to say straight from Clayton Center, which is a town not too far from me. All right, save that for another day because that's another good perfect sentiment size for aqua pigment paper. Try not to put things on the floor because then I forget they're there and I'll turn around and Fletch will take them. And then we're just going to stick this down right here. Stick a little bit of foam tape on the edges. Because that, of course, the color and the person. I was talking about both. I have had the pleasure of meeting Penny in person, and she is a doll. For those of you, when you have not met her, hopefully you will. Some of you will get to meet her at the anniversary party. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue. We're just going to stick this down right in the middle. I'm going to eyeball it. It's going to be close enough. There we go. So 8:01, you guys. I don't know if I'm going to add any crystals or not. Or maybe penny sequins. That would be nice. I'm thinking I might do some of those pink. I'm going to do we're going to do the red shift. Oh my gosh, look at, that's the one I probably use the most of. I've had these since the beginning, you guys, and you can barely tell. Thank you, Penny. Thank you, thank you. We're going to add a little bit of the red shift. So we're going to add a little bit. I'm just going to add a couple down here. We'll put one here, and then I'm going to put a couple up here. All right, in the words, everyone got your goggles on. Are you ready? Set, go. Thanks, Susan. I try to have some fun with you guys. You know, I am never opposed to, if there's something you're wanting me to play with, you can always ask, put it in the comments under one of my lives or in the fan club group and say, like I know one time somebody asked how to use a specific stencil. It was a rainbow swirl. I can't remember exactly what it was called. And so I quickly I wasn't doing lives at that point. So I did quickly make a video using it. At the time. I mean, I can't always do that immediately that day, but within a day or so I can. So thank you, Mom. So here is our final card. Like I said, we're going to put it on a card base. I do need to cut that down, but I will do that after we hang out from the live because I have to cut everything down and move everything around so I have room. But it will be on a, I'm going to go ahead and put it back on a lunch bag card base. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm not sure what I have up my sleeve for next week yet. I haven't thought that far ahead. So hope you have a fabulous evening. Like I said, I have everything everything except the Yellow Brick Road, which I will put in later in the description box if you're interested in these products. So have a great evening and I will see you next time. Okay?